So our next category is Best Supporting Actor. Best Supporting Actor. Anthony Hopkins, The Two Popes. Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Joe Pesci, The Irishman. Al Pacino, The Irishman. Tom Hanks, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. So, yes. So who?
I think it's going to be Brad Pitt.
And why do you think that?
I just think out of everyone that's on here,
Yeah.
love Anthony Hopkins.
He's really good in
Love,
The Two Popes.
love.
Did you see Two
Love.
Popes?
That's
Yeah.
how I've been. Yeah.
What's the series?
Love, love, love. Al Pacino, for Christ's sakes. Joe Pesci, for Christ's sakes. How many times do these guys? I mean, these guys play the same fucking role for what's his name, for Martin Scorsese. They just switch. It's like they're on a little turntable. Like,
Hey, you got a problem with that?
You got a problem? You talking to me? They're on like a lazy Susan, right in the middle of the table. You know what a lazy Susan is? What
Yes,
spins
of course.
around?
Yes, we
Okay,
do.
it's like they're on a lazy Susan, and they just like take. Okay, you get the bad guy role.
Like Ricky
You
Gervais
get the-
says,
this guy
don't, please don't have me whacked.
Yeah, please don't have me whacked. Like you get this role. I mean, come on, enough already.
They do it really well.
They
They,
do it so well.
You take it for granted. That's the worst
Yeah,
part.
I mean,
That's who they are.
love them.
There's no acting.
no, there is, because it's
Oh, no,
not
there's
who
a
they
lot of
are.
acting.
Okay, I gotta say that I thought Al Pacino was a dark horse for me because that role was made for him. That he would play the Union
Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Hoffa.
Hoffa.
Jimmy, yes, that he played that.
He did play it beautifully, though.
That was a role that was made for him.
Yeah.
And he did it very well. So, but I agree with you. It's like, oh, come on. It's
And
a
they've
role
got-
that's made for him.
And they've got these two in
With Shu.
supporting actor, the Al Pacino and Joe Pesci, but they don't have anyone from The Irishman in leading actor.
Because they all were the same. You know
I
what
guess-
I mean?
I
There was
guess all the
nobody that
char-
stood out.
No,
Well,
I think Al Pacino stood out as Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I
that's
agree.
a great to play that role, to play Jimmy Hoffa, and I mean,
but the movie would be Robert De Niro. Would be, if anybody's nominated for lead actor, would have been him.
Yeah.
De Niro.
I
yeah,
think so, too.
yeah, probably.
Nominated- It's an ensemble movie, so people have an ensemble cast, so everybody has similar roles. Nobody really stands out about
Yes,
everybody else.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure
The
that's.
ensemble.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, okay, not to get political here or controversial, but it was kind of like in Pulp Fiction. I had a huge problem that John Travolta got Best Actor and
Samuel L.
Bruce
Jackson.
Samuel L.
Who had the
Jackson
big
got
both lines.
supporting actor.
Who had
They
the better
played
lines.
the same part.
We had the better lines too.
Yeah,
They
way
had the
better.
best lines.
And Bruce Willis got nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Bruce Willis was great in that movie.
They played identical parts. In fact, John Travolta got killed off before
Spoilers.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone on the planet has not seen Pulp Fiction. But back to
Back to
2020.
Back to
Yes.
Lon. Lon's
Come
turn.
on.
But Tom Hanks,
Come
though,
on. Best supporting actor.
I think, sorry, I just
Sorry.
wanted to point
Oh, no,
out,
no,
I didn't
good.
say Tom Hanks, because he did a beautiful job as him. I would love a full-length,
We went and saw this
Movie.
movie, and it's about the reporter.
yeah, it's about
Right.
the
Yeah, and this is
reporter.
not a
That's
spoiler
like-
It
alert.
is about
This
the
is
reporter.
don't go see the movie
Wait,
alert.
some other reporter.
Right.
The movie's about the report. I would have loved to have seen Tom Hanks in a real role about
Right.
Mr.
I don't know why they call it that because it's so misleading.
It is misleading.
And then he would have been, and he should have been put up for Best Actor.
but he did a great job. He did a great job
did.
as
Yeah, but remember, it's a movie
That's
about.
him.
It's really about the reporter and his experience. So it's kind of like saying, why is Leonardo DiCaprio getting the best actor? It should have been
He
the
should have-
boat. It should
you
have
know
been
what?
Titanic. You know? Because it's about
Leonardo
the boat.
DiCaprio should have
No,
got
but I'm saying it's you're nominating. He's not the main character, really. It's the
Yes,
writer.
it's
but
supporting.
it's so
the,
misleading.
Just like the Titanic is the main character.
It's really
but
misleading.
again, it's
You think
supporting
gonna be.
actor.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
supporting. So.
But and I say I didn't see that movie, but I probably what's his face? Tom Hanks. I'm sure if I see, I'll be crying left and right, and I'll be like,
Yeah,
he should win it.
What do you mean a director's?
What's a good example? Like for me, like Bjork in that Dancing in the Dark. She was nominated and her character was phenomenal. And I love that movie. Yet it's because of the director. I can't remember his name now, but it's the way he edited it. So he would film her like sad, and then he cuts away. Then she's doing something else kooky. He brings back to her face. So you're seeing all these different emotions, but it's not like a linear thing where the camera's on her and she's showing the emotions.
Was it a movie or a music thing that she did? Or?
Well, it was a movie and it was a musical.
Okay.
That was a musical. Lars von Trier directed that, Dancing in the Dark.
I've never heard of this.
I love Bjork too, and so I've never seen it. So
it was
gotta watch this.
outstanding.
Really?
That's a movie.
Very crazy.
Try to do for your show because that's one of those weird movies where she did get nominated. In fact,
Wow.
that's the year she came to the Oscar in the famous Goose Dress.
Okay.
Or
Goose
Swan
Dress,
Dress.
yeah.
Swan Dress, right?
Yes.
Because she sang the song also,
Okay.
which they won. She won the Oscar for Best Song.
Well, there's
Oh.
one you can do for us.
Yeah.
But
So
it's
wait,
sort of
guys,
funny. But
yeah.
as far as the best supporting actors, see, I sort of agree with you that, okay, first of all, I want to say I loved it. I went in this with very low expectations because it's a 3.5 hour movie,
Oh,
The Irishman.
The Irishman.
So it's like, okay, but I love Scorsese.
Me
But
too.
I haven't even seen his last 2 movies. It's like, I'm probably done over with Scorsese. I started watching this and I was hooked. It was like watching Casino in the theaters, a 3-hour movie where I just was from beginning to end
Right.
completely entertained.
Right.
The thing I'll bring issue up is, first of all, Al Pacino is good playing Jimmy Hoffa.
Yes, yes.
But here's an Italian American playing a Polish European American.
Yeah.
So that sort of threw me
Yes,
off.
yes,
But I
sure.
cannot deny the intensity. You're right. That Pacino just has that intensity,
Yes.
has that bigger than life,
Yes.
even though he's a small character, right?
Yes.
Or stature. But Joe Pesci, I was really impressed with his
Yeah, me
performance
too.
only because he's not doing the New York Italian accent. He literally is doing an East Coast Italian, but all that D's and not in there anymore.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
really toned it down, so he really nuanced his performance. And
He
I
was
thought,
good.
that's really surprising. That's the first thing I noticed. Like, wait, he's not speaking like he's in Goodfellas. That real New York Italian
Right.
thing is gone. Same thing with Pacino, De Niro
Right.
in his lead role, because I thought he was really good, and he's supposed to be playing an Irishman as well. Right? So it's
I
like,
know, it's-
okay, but he doesn't have that thick New York, or
Right.
what I'm used to, what I'd call the Scorsese New York mafia accent.
Right.
Well, they
So
were from they were from Chicago area, right?
Pittsburgh.
Or Pittsburgh, yeah.
Pittsburgh,
So-
yeah. So it's like,
gonna
yeah,
be-
and that's I thought, I don't know whose genius that was, whether it's the director or the actor saying, oh yeah, you can't speak like that. That's not how Italian Philadelphians speak.
Yeah, but
Or-
monsters
People
or
in
speak.
Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
they had the accent, don't they? Did.
Yeah, no, everyone will have, even in LA, I meet these guys who pretend or something, have that affectation of sounding like New York mafia, right? But I thought both of them were good. I did not see the Tom Hanks performance in It's a Beautiful Day, so I'm sort of handicapped by that. I must admit, though, I really thought that Brad Pitt was very good in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, a movie which I did not like at all.
Really?
Really?
It's
I
one of my
did-
favorite movies.
Oh,
Why
I know, I understand that. I
Why
understand
didn't you
that.
like it?
I find Quentin Tarantino movies sort of soulless. I watched that movie. I said, okay, what was the point of that movie? I don't understand.
It was a fairy tale.
No. And I get that because Once Upon a Time, and that's why I said people. That's why even the ending, I knew about the ending too. So
Right.
that wasn't a big thing. And again, getting back to Margot Robbie, I thought how excellent she was in that. I would rather get her nominated for that movie
Yeah, she
than
was great.
for
Yes.
Bombshell.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because
Yes.
I really thought she is playing the character, and I sort of fell in love with her when
Yep.
she's watching her movie in
Yes.
the theater.
Yes.
There was something so adorable about that, and
Yep.
it made me it. And again, I don't get this a lot in Quentin Tarantino movies, but it's like, wow, that's actually a fun, touching moment.
Yeah.
I
I'm in this movie. She's so cute.
Well, just
Yeah,
the
it was
fact that
great.
she actually sort of, and I don't want to say con, but she says, oh, she's in the movie and she gets to go in for free, of all things. Wait, you're an actress, you're a model, you're known, you're dating one of the greatest, directors in cinema at the
kind of
time.
innocent,
She
you know,
has
young
money,
innocent.
but exactly, she really conveyed that innocence. So I preferred that over sort of what she had to do in Bombshell, for example.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
you're absolutely
But,
right. Why wasn't she nominated for that?
Actually, yeah.
In my opinion, yeah, I think she should
Yeah,
have.
that's a very good
I don't
point.
think it's not that I think the other ones are. I don't think it's the supporting actress role. Even though she's the supporting actress.
Oh,
in
no,
it.
yeah.
I couldn't figure why they had her in the movie because they hardly ever showed her. You know what I mean? It was.
Well, that's the thing. See, that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
what you have to say is why did they make this movie? Because I think it was to have that fairy tale ending at the very end, correct?
absolutely.
Right. So that's why she's an integral
Well,
part of it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll say it's a movie for actors. We win in the end. It's a fairy tale.
Yeah.
The actors win.
Yeah.
Hollywood wins.
I
But
totally
I agree with Lan that. Well, I think Brad Pitt is. Yeah, that character was just like.
He was so laid back.
But yeah, I was going to talk about Anthony Hopkins because
I
I agree.
yeah.
I thought, here's a person who I did not like, period, as Pope. The Pope Benedict.
You don't like him playing it or him?
No. I'm just
He
talking
plays
about
the Pope.
Pope Benedict himself because of the controversy that he sort of brought with him.
kind of the Nazi
But
thing.
what it was is that Anthony Hopkins actually softened him up. It's like, oh, I can see the situation he's in now. I never saw it from the perspective they present in the film of him literally almost having a spiritual dilemma. And Anthony Hopkins gets that sort of weird, separate, that I don't know if it's German or not, but that kind of separation of emotion and what his duty is. And yet, as it goes along, it's sort of amazing how it's like,
Emotionally
I get more and more sympathetic towards him.
right.
And I said, that says a lot because I really just thought, okay, this is not somebody I really care for. But the way it portrayed the film, it's like, I really have to take a different look now at Pope Benedict because he did have very difficult time. And I'm sure that decision was not easy. I thought it was because of the scandal they present, which they limit very much in it. But he might have had, at least according to the movie and what I saw and the way it was presented, a very, very tough decision to make.
Yeah, it's funny. I thought his part was going to be the new pope. I thought he'd be the new pope.
Oh,
Not
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
was kind of
interesting.
shocked.
That's interesting.
I was kind of shocked that Jonathan Bryce, is it? Jonathan
Yes.
Bryce,
Yeah,
Right.
Jonathan
is playing the new pope. But
Right.
I got to say, he plays it really
Well, he
well.
looks just like him too. I thought they
Pope
both-
Francis,
they-
exactly.
He
Yeah,
does,
he
yes,
did.
he
He
does.
did.
But
Yeah.
I thought Anthony Hopkins, see, as much as I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and the part Brad Pitt, it would be a tie between Anthony Hopkins and him.
Yeah.
Because,
I have a question.
yes.
Yeah. When you about the movie, like you said, you saw this dilemma within Anthony Hopkins. Did that happen in real life though?
No, I see. That's what I'm saying. I
just
never even
curious.
saw that perspective. He sort of resigned, behind sort of a little bit of scandal, and which is what I really always thought the reason was. And like I said, they present a little bit in the
Very
movie,
little,
but
yeah.
but they don't really talk about it much.
Yeah.
But yet, Anthony Hopkins in his performance, and again, this could be all fictional,
Right.
but it's wonderfully presented to
It
us.
is.
Like, I understand now what this
Because I think
Pope
it's
had
a
to do.
relationship.
The Pope Emeritus Pope or Pope Emeritus, he's known as now, right?
I think
Yeah.
it's supposed to, I'm guessing here, it's supposed to be about the two popes because they're so opposite. I think it's more about that because I was surprised about the scandal they didn't. Yeah.
Here's another movie I thought, oh, this is going to be really boring. It's like- so it starts off, and it's like, okay, and it's like, but within 30 minutes, I'm gripped. Till the
Whoever
very
wrote
end.
it with the
Yes, yeah.
whoever wrote it was brilliant because that was
Agree.
really clever. Pitter patter,
Like
as
a
they call
great play, like a
Yes,
truly great
that
play
would be a
about
great play.
philosophies, theoretics, and obviously Christianity. I mean,
Yeah.
what that church means to so many millions or possibly billions now. I have
Yeah.
no idea, but
Oh yeah.
Sean.
Oh, I've already talked about supporting
Yeah.
actors. So George.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I didn't see the Pope. so I would say Brad Pitt, but if I see Pope, I don't know. I might
Yeah,
think about it.
I wanted to see that. Actually, I wanted to see that more than I wanted to see the movies I saw last night. But they were available, and this was not. So I can't believe that I would not pick Anthony Hopkins. But since I didn't see it, Brad Pitt. I loved his role. I
well,
loved
let's face
him.
it, he's won almost every single supporting actor role.
Yeah, he
So
has.
Yeah.
he's almost to me like the shoe-in.
Yeah, he's the Lord Dern of actors.
Exactly.
Okay,
All right,
so we are
You
ready
wanna-
to move on.
Yeah.
Sure, you want to take a break or you want to?
I want to break.